Disclaimer: the views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host or guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. This is Life Coach Glacy, and I'm a certified CECC life coach and mental health coach from Life Coach Philippines. I'm a master builder apprentice of Master Coach A, and we build tribe as we help your unstoppable dream come true. And I'm the founder and creator of Live Free Coaching Community, and I'm an entrepreneur doing business as 28th Street Cafe, located here in Maribeles, Bataan. And right now, I'm a project manager in Nikon Essilor as a licensed chemical engineer. So you are joining me for tonight for Postcards here in our new digital space, Think Talk Broadcast. So Think Talk Broadcast is a flagship community project of the speakers of Coaching Think Talk from Life Coach Philippines and members of Coach A Coaching Community. Our mission is to get closer to our kindred and serve better our coaching tribe, and we envision being the go-to network for content that connects the mind, heart, and soul through the platform of life coaching. So this is us in the Philippines advancing coaching as an art, a science, a lifestyle, a profession, and a business. Your one coaching thought for today is flow. Effectiveness is high and stress is low when you are in a flow. So if your stress is so high right now, so find your flow so that you will become more effective as well. More of that with our guests when we come back. Well, we'll be back shortly. Welcome back. So today is the 20th of June in the year of 2022, and I am broadcasting beyond borders of Maribeles, Bataan, Central Luzon, Philippines. So you are joining me for the live streaming of Postcards. So this program is created for the coaching conversation on travel stories, life's adventure, and life's lessons from each journey that makes life more exciting and memorable for people who loves to travel and explore, because they capture rich lessons and experiences in life. So for tonight, we will be exploring USA and spots off the beaten path with our tonight's guest. So my guest for tonight is a very tough woman, very competitive, very warm and funny. Every day she wakes up, she kicks ass and do kindness in her own little way. She is a director for portfolio and channel strategy at Essilor Luxottica, a loving wife to her husband Cody. They were married for 7 years with their pup Harley, a 12-year-old Westie. She is a planner traveler doing tons of research. So before she would visit those places, she will do research first and finds the spot of the beaten path to get the most of the local experience. And alongside of that, she loves to try new restaurants, including local cocktails. She's very into that local experience whenever she travels. So traveling and seeing new places is what she enjoys most, and looking for fresh ways to exercise her competitive spirit. So most recently, she has taken to racing track cars on road courses, and playing tennis is her newfound interest. So travel is really her most beloved outlet, providing her a perspective that the world as outside herself or the world bigger than herself. So let's welcome my guest for tonight, a very warm and thoughtful person indeed. So all the way from Dallas, Texas, USA.
Good morning. Good evening, Glacy. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Jordan. So welcome here at Postcards. So would you like to introduce more of yourself with our viewers worldwide?
Sure. Yeah, I think you did a really great job. So thank you for that. And sounds like my dog, of course, on the live broadcast wants to make an appearance as well. So sorry about that, as is life. Um, yeah, you said it all. So thanks for having me from Dallas, Texas this morning.
Yeah, so that's Harley, your puppy. She's a 12 years old.
That's her. Yeah, that's her. A little grumpy old lady this morning.
She wakes up early also.
Not usually. That's why she's a little grumpy. She didn't get to sleep in this
Ah, okay, okay. So
morning.
maybe she thought that you're noisy for this morning.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Making too much noise, waking her up.
Yeah. Yeah. So really thank you, Jordan, for this time. I know in Dallas it's very early. It's at 7 a.m. and you have some work later. So thank you again for saying yes to my invitation. So let's go into the conversation right now. So about travel and adventure and other life lessons that you will have. For travel, no, what is it that you love in travel? So aside from that you have shared to me, so
hmm
what are the things that you love most in travel?
So I think that the pandemic reminded me of why travel is such a big part of my life and what I enjoy most about it. And it's it's getting a perspective outside of your own, I think, and immersing yourself into new cultures and getting a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest with you. Um, uh, that's not an everyday occurrence for me. I'm privileged enough to feel comfortable most places that I go in my life, and I think travel is a great opportunity to get a little bit uncomfortable, get outside of your normal space, and see different walks of life and see different points of view. And there's nothing wrong in a world that's a bit heavy and a bit dense to feel small and to be reminded of the world outside of your own little tunnel vision. I think it's healthy, and for me, travel provides that perspective that reminds me that it's not so important and that life will go on.
Yeah. So actually, like, well, when it comes to comfort or being comfortable or to be comfortable, so it's very seldom that we look for things that makes us uncomfortable. But
Mm,
I hear that from you, and because you would like to feel small, to feel that there's something bigger than yourself, that you need to do more things around you, because the world is big. With the travel that you have, with the places that you visit, what is that place that you really feel that uh, that really the world is big, that the world has so much to offer? So what is that place, or what is that vacation that you had?
mm. So it's international. It's not U.S. And it's actually was part of where you and I first met in person, and we were able to extend a work trip from Singapore, and we went over to I'm sure you're familiar from being from that part of the world, a sister island of Bali called Lombok, and then off of Lombok are three super tiny rural islands, and one of those is what we got a chance to visit while we were there in Singapore. And no motorized vehicles, very few people, just
Mm.
really off the grid. There was a few restaurants, a few bars, a few places of civilization, but and running water and electricity. But it was very simple, and everyone was lived a very simple way of life, and it was so refreshing that nature drove most of the activities. Nature drove your schedule for the day, which is very un-American, and not what I'm used to in my day to day. And it was refreshing in a way that it still felt small and simple, and truly unlike anywhere I've ever been. And that's one of the places that I hold near and dear to our hearts. Gilly Air is what it was called. Are you familiar with that over there?
Yeah, actually, when you sent me that Gili Air, I researched it. So where's this? Gili Air. So I just found out that it's from Indonesia. So with all my episodes here in Postcards, so I'm learning and learning for places that really, when you said that it's off the grid, like not the usual thing. Because when we say Indonesia, first thing you have in mind is Bali, right, or the Jakarta. So only that. So thanks to you that I found this Gili Air. So it's part of the three Gili Islands, right? Gili
Yep.
Air.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, go. I'm sorry.
yeah, so you continue.
So we flew from Singapore to Bali and from Bali to Lombok.
Ah,
And then we took a boat from Lombok to Gili Air. You can also take a boat from Bali. So we actually did that one each way. We took a flight to Lombok, and then we also took a boat from Bali. So that was also part of it. Is just that you get into this little skipper, and you
mm.
just sail off, and you can't see. It's as far as the eye can see, and you really do disconnect as you drive away, and you look back over your shoulder to make sure that you're going the right direction. Yeah, you would love it. It's fantastic.
So there's no internet. There's no network in that place, or do you still have access?
They have a few of the places have access. Our Airbnb did not. We stayed in a little bungalow. We did not have Wi-Fi, which was not a problem for us at the time. But there's a few cafes that do have Wi-Fi there where you can go and work remotely and have
Mm.
a coffee or something. But you ride your bike, and the luggage was toted because our place of residence was kind of across the island, which is, although it's super small, our luggage was carried by a donkey and a little carriage. Um,
Donkey.
yeah, it was nothing like I'd ever seen. Um, and we went during Ramadan, and so we were woken by the local church bells a few times a day, and it really felt like we were immersed fully into the local experience, which, as you said so eloquently in the introduction, is a big part of what I enjoy as well. Not the tourist view. I'm sure I only
Yeah.
see the white American tourist view to an extent, but as much as I can dive beyond that, that's where I get an enjoyment too.
Yeah. So did you go back to that to Gili Air after that, or
No, not yet. I would love to. It's very difficult to get to from the States.
yeah?
One of the farthest places away on the planet, literally, that I could choose. But I hope to. I hope to return one day. In fact, I was trying to tell my husband there's a trend, and everywhere we go, I want to buy it. I want to buy a place, and it was very reasonably priced there for an American. And my husband was like, if anything ever went wrong, it would literally take us 2 days
Hmm.
to get there, to get to it. I don't know that that's a reasonable place to have a second home, but maybe one day, maybe one day.
Wow. So you will be living in Asia one day.
I hope so. I hope so. That would be great. Maybe I'll come with you over to Japan for a little while.
Yeah, you can go with me in Japan to visit. For on that travel, what is the lesson that you learned, like in seeing that world differently, like Essilor?
See the world differently. Exactly. That should be the mission statement here. No, I'm kidding. Um, I think for me at that point in my life, the lesson was how important taking a break was and going off the grid was and disconnecting from the reality of life, which I recognize as, again, being a real privilege to be able to do that. But just really going away mentally and physically from work, from the everyday stressors, from just really checking out on reality, um, reminding myself how much of a recharge and re-plug in that was for me, to be able to do that, to really go away for a week. It was a solid week that we didn't check in. We were 12, 13, 14 hours ahead of people back home, so it already felt pretty distant in itself, but just a reminder of how important it is to really disconnect
Mm.
and recharge. That was my lesson there for sure.
Yeah, disconnect to connect to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and how long how long is the travel?
Um, to that trip or in general?
Yeah, on the trip. How long did you stay there?
We were about 10 days. So we
Oh,
bounced around to three different places while we were over there. And that was definitely my favorite. If we could have done it differently, we would have just stayed there. We went to Bali, which was much more touristy at the time. I'm sure it still is, but we really enjoyed Gilead the most.
yeah. So 10 days. It's really like you experiencing local. No, so as you shared with me that you love to experience local. So aside from this Julie trip, so what are those local experiences that mark mark make a mark in your heart or in
Mm.
your life?
So the most recent experience that comes to mind as an example was not too long ago, actually, just a few weeks back. We attended a wedding in Mexico. So it was not your normal Cancun beach version of Mexico. It was really central Mexico, down south, just north of Mexico City. So really the inner city of Mexico, or central inland version. And our first day there, we were connected from a person who had been there from the States before, and we were put in touch with a local winemaker and distiller. And so the very first day there, we did a local natural wine and mezcal tasting, which really set the trip off on the right foot. And through him, we met a couple of local chefs. Actually, they were from a couple of hours north of where we were, and everybody just opened us like family. They were calling us brothers and sisters within just a few days, and we ended up really tailoring the rest of our trip around our new friends that we met there. They took us to very local restaurants. They had a little, the hospitality was just out of this world. They did a pop up restaurant for us because we weren't able to make their scheduled pop up appearance at a restaurant there locally because of the wedding we were at. And they said, "Oh, we'll just do another one for you. We'll just stay over and we'll have a friends and family brunch for you the next day," and all this and that. And so it was through this initial recommendation again from someone who's visited there, met him while he was there, and then we were put in touch with more locals and got to be good friends with them. So one door, as you said earlier, open to new relationships and
Mm.
new bonds with other local foodies, if you will, and that really shaped our entire experience, and probably is one of the biggest reasons that we would say that San Miguel has a special place there now, is because of these people that we were able to meet, these locals.
Wow, that's a nice experience. Really, when you get in, when you stay with the local or you build that connection with the local, you learn more about their culture, and then it gives you more. It makes your experience richer than when you just visit and you just take that photo, that Instagram photo, compared to when you really like immerse yourself. I think we can show them right now the your places so that they can picture the San Miguel and the one the Gili Air that you mentioned. So Master E. Yeah. So for our guests, so for our viewers, no. So this is the top five favorite places of Jordan. So we have there. It's like it's around the world. So aside from US, so we have there some places outside and some she have already shared. So we'd like to share it with you. So Jordan, you can uh, share more story about the photos.
Sure, yeah. So this is Northern California, um, near, if you guys have heard of like Big Sur or Pebble Beach, or if you ever watched the American show with Reese Witherspoon and several others, Big Little Lies. Do you know that show? Have you heard of it?
No, I just know Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, okay. She's in a show that's based here in Monterey, California. So I was just going to create a reference point if anyone's familiar with that. But yeah, this is just a spectacular part of California. It's definitely not off the grid or off the beaten path. It's very popular. It's not the wine country. It's not the Southern California beaches, but it's cliffy like this. There's a very famous highway called the Pacific Coast Highway, PCH, and it's just travels right along. You can see in the right picture, you can really see that we're right off the highway there. So these are just coastal views for hours. So a lot of people start at the top, maybe fly into San Jose or something, kind of the Bay Area, and you just travel south, and it's north of San Francisco, south of San Jose, I believe.
Mm.
And it's just spectacular. It's a quiet, chilly California beach, which is a little counterintuitive, but it's a really special place for us. A lot of beautiful hiking, and we like to drive. So um, driving along the beautiful highway, and it's a nice place to be.
Wow. So you go there by the road. You
Yeah, for us, we flew into
you
Northern
flew.
California, and then it's a couple of hours south of San Jose. So we rented a car and drove along, and just extended. Probably. I mean, you could drive from north to Southern California. You could drive all the way almost the west coast from the north from Canada. You could pretty much drive all the way down to San Diego or to the southernmost parts of California, on the one highway, but we didn't do that. I think that's a nice road trip from what I hear. But for us, it was just a long weekend, and we flew in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Speaking of driving, no. So you're into car racing cars.
yeah. So
Tell me more about that.
okay, it's a very niche hobby, even where we live. I have no idea if you guys even have this concept there in the Philippines. I'd love to hear from you, and if it's a thing. But basically, we have racetracks around here, where they're not like NASCAR. If you know NASCAR, where you drive in a circle, the American sport of NASCAR. It's not like this. It's more like Formula One tracks. Um,
Wow.
so, are you familiar with Formula One driving?
Yeah, I heard. I just
Okay.
heard it.
Okay, so it's more of sharp turns, and not it's not a lot of straights. It's more so about how you go around turns. And basically, our business, it's just a side hustle. You bring your car, and we teach you how to drive fast on track and safely. So there's a trend here that's forming. So thank you, life coach, for subtly pointing this out to me, that I like to make myself uncomfortable for whatever reason that is.
Mm.
And so it's a high adrenaline, a lot of energy, just an adrenaline sport, where you push yourself to your limits safely on a track.
Wow. We have one coach. He's doing that racing. Not sure if racing, but it's into driving fast. We have Coach Sean. So shout out to Coach Sean. So I would love to try that when I will visit. So you have that. It's you who put that up, that side hustle, or Cody.
Mostly Cody runs it. Yeah. We tag team, but he's the one who really got me interested in this. It was more of just a business opportunity for me, a tax write-off, to be honest. That got me perked into it, but he's been into driving and racing himself. Mostly driving, like you said. It's actually less racing for us. It's more just driving and competing against yourself. We're not doing too much
Mm.
competitive stuff, but it still brings out a spirit of competition within you. But yeah, he started it mostly. He's been driving and instructing people for several years, and now we do that for a little bit on the side. Yeah, it's really fun, but yeah, mostly Cody takes the lead.
Yeah, and having that adrenaline rush, like that feeling that you are excited at the same time you're scared, but it's good that you share with us that it's how to drive fast that is safe. No? So yeah.
Yeah, it's actually much safer than driving on the roads. We've, knock on wood, we've never
Mm,
had any incidents on track. So our business has been around for a long time. But ironically, you think driving fast and you think racing and you think pushing yourself to the limits, it's actually within what you're comfortable with, within what you're capable of.
mm.
Not driving beyond your limits for sure, just approaching the boundaries of what those limits are. And we've never had a car on car collision. We've never had an incident in over 20 years of the business existing, even prior to us. So it's actually far safer than driving on the streets.
Yeah, in streets you have like everything. You have all the challenges, every obstacles in the road. No? Yeah. Next photo, Master E. Yeah, this one is San Miguel.
Yeah, this is San Miguel. So the picture on the left is a cathedral there, right in Centro, as they call it, right in the central part of the town. It's hundreds of years old. It's still a functioning church, operable church. You could go to service there, and it's just spectacular, lit up like this at night. And then on the right was our friend's wedding. So she was her family was from about an hour and a half of San Miguel, called Leon, and so this was a super small, beautiful vineyard wedding, maybe about 40 people or less. They actually got married during COVID formally, and had a small celebration with family and close friends. So that's us at the vineyard. Yeah, it was just a few weeks back, like I mentioned, and the town's about 7,500 feet. So I don't know transferring that to kilometers. I'm not very good at that, but tall. Elevation was really high, like a
Mm,
mountain town, as you can see sort of in the right picture. So everything had a view, and everything was built into the hills. It was like a European, a little Spain
mm.
feeling town in the middle of the Mexican mountains, and just beautiful cobblestone, and the streets were lined with just beautiful colored terracotta, side by side homes. Again, like you see in Europe, like I saw in your introduction shots. Definitely not the quintessential Mexico that people have in mind. Certainly not what I had in mind. I guess that shows my tourist American view on Mexico. Um, but it was just phenomenal, and I think it's because of that elevation as well. It was really really beautiful. Everywhere had a beautiful view.
Wow, you have the 360 view.
hmm Everything had a rooftop. Everything was close together, um, and so everything was walkable. You ate and drank a lot, so it was nice to walk in between the hills and burn off some of that before you go to the next meal.
And where's the? This is where you have that wine you visited. No?
Yeah, this is the winemaking and the mezcal introduction on the first day that brought us to the chefs and whatnot. Yeah, this is it, San Miguel. Yes.
We have also San Miguel in the Philippines. It's a
Oh,
beer.
really?
It's a joke.
Oh, that's
San,
nice.
San Miguel is the famous beer here in the Philippines. But and they're saying because you love cactus, so just share with you. So San Miguel beer is like they most foreigners they love the taste of San Miguel
Do
because I
you like
think
it?
it's yeah me no I don't like it.
The locals
It's
don't drink it so much.
the locals drinks it. When you say here in Philippines, when you say beer, it's San Miguel. I think it's also the how it is being made is from the Spanish before, like the recipe. Like if you are the original recipe is coming from that, and it just get. evolved. So that's
Cool.
I just connected with San Miguel.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I wonder, I bet you maybe their origins are of the same, you know,
Mm.
colony, Spanish colony from originally, maybe. I'll have to look into that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
if you are to visit Philippines, so if you're the one you show us that church, so we have a lot of that also here in Philippines, because that architecture is Spanish architecture also. We have like big churches.
Hmm. All the more reason to come visit you in person.
Yeah, yeah. So our
Cool.
next photo, this one is in US.
Yeah, this is the US. So this is there's a bit of a trend, I suppose, in being near water, especially in the US places, but this is in they call it the Pacific Northwest, so the northwestern part of the United States, if you're looking on the map, the northwest part. Um, and it's, you take a ferry from Seattle or from Vancouver. You know, you can get there from Victoria or, you know, the Canadian parts as well. But this is right off of the state of Washington. There's several islands. There's hundreds of islands over there actually. This one's our favorite. It's a little bit quieter than some of the more popular islands actually. Um,
Mm.
and we've been there a few times, so this is a place we've returned to. It's once you get there, you don't want to leave. Everything has a view. It's so peaceful and
Mm.
as you can see in the pictures there, just so still and quiet. And you have the mountains. If you can see the far left picture, you can see the mountains there in the
Mm.
background. So it's a bay. It's a bay right in the sound. They call it the channel or the sound. The bay there between Washington and there's a dormant volcano over there that's really pretty. So it's really nice. And we visited this, and myself and two girlfriends there on the left, we came up and during COVID actually, we were all working from home, so we came up and spent an extended period of time there working from a house that was our
Mm.
rental Airbnb right off the water there, and just stayed out on the island for a while and didn't venture into the city too much. And it was really, really nice. We worked, but then we disconnected and we really bonded there. Obviously, to, to put it lightly, COVID is still a really difficult time. And at this point was in 2020. So pre-vaccine, definitely still in lockdown. So we were uncomfortable flying at that point, but needed to get away. And this was our the one place we traveled to
Yeah,
here was this was our selection, and it was the perfect spot to just go away.
yeah. It's all worth it that visiting that, no?
So worth it. Yeah, it was spectacular, very peaceful again. We actually did a um, a polar plunge. So my friend there on the right in this picture, she's very into Eastern medicine and just finding natural remedies and tracks the moon cycles and things like this, you know. And she told us that it was healthy for us to do a polar plunge into the sound there, the Puget Channel that I was referencing earlier, and so we did that. We went in October, November, which is already cold in Washington State. There was snow on the mountains already, and and we dressed down and we went into this channel, and it's almost like an ice bath, a natural ice bath, and we immersed ourselves fully into the water like crazy people.
On
Um,
that lake,
yeah, yeah, in that channel in the bay right behind me that you see, we took a dip in there, and that was quite pretty fun.
that's icy. So
Hmm.
I cannot imagine because in Philippines we have our waters, they are warm here. Even maybe even at the December or January here in the Philippines, like winter in other countries, so it's still warm for you, like our weather here. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So as you shared also the peace that the it's very peaceful. Even I just seeing or looking at that photo is really very peaceful. I really feel that calm. So I have like question for you. So what gives you peace? So you will answer that when we come back, and when we come back, we will have your two more photos and more conversation about that. So we are to pause for a break, and for our viewers, I would like to present with you our prize of round trip ticket to be given away to two lucky winners. So you have the chance to win a trip for two to one of the top local tourist destinations. So you can also join Jordan. So here's how to win. So for step one, so just like, follow, and subscribe all our TikTok broadcast social media accounts, our Facebook, YouTube, IG, and Twitter. And step two, you watch all the 12 episodes live or via replay of Postcards season one. So we are still in season one. And share your insights as a comment in the post found in our TikTok broadcast Facebook page, or you may find here in the comment box of our show with the following format. So hashtag postcards on TTB, hashtag raffle on postcards, and hashtag episode, and write the number of that episode, and hashtag insights on postcards, and share us what you learned or your aha moment watching the show. And then step three, so upon completion of one and two, send me a private message on my personal Facebook account, Glacy Villaruel, to provide your contact details, your full name, Facebook name, contact number, and email address. So now we will have our short break. So see you in a while. We'll be right back.
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag-and-drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag-and-drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.
And we are back for the second part of our 10th broadcast of Postcards, brought to you by Decaf Coffee Republic, the coaching hub of Life Coach Philippines, and our home as professional certified CACC life coaches. So meet our coaching tribe at Decaf Coffee Republic, located at Pioneer Center Compound along Pioneer Road, Corner Brixton, and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. So we are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday to Thursday, and our coaching hub is also an event place and venue of choice for an intimate gathering. So if you are looking for a venue, so connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-166-1661 for inquiry and reservation. And starting last June 1, so face-to-face daily event is back at Decaf Coffee Republic. Hey, we invite you to join us. So Purpose Tuesday, we have a way in a day with Coach Rizal. On Wednesday, we have Group Wednesday. It's all about habits with Master Coach Jasmine. And for Thursday, we have Strengthening Thursday, Coaching for the Soul with Master Coach A. And of course, Saturday is Open Mic with Coach Orville Fab Saturday. And Sunday, as you have your comfort, so Comfy Sunday, Sundays for Life with Coach Sean. And Monday is Nurturing Monday, Walk Along with Coach Tin. So again, I invite you to join Purpose Tuesday with Coach Rizal tomorrow night at Teacup Coffee Republic. So that is face to face, and you can contact Coach Rizal for reservation of your for slot reservation at 0917-586-1661. And I invite you also to become a holder of Be Learning e-card and join me inside Be Learning Society. So I'm part of Be Learning Society as one of the mental model collectors. So as you join, enjoy a food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic and full access pass to our monthly mental model masterclass of Master Coach A, exclusive for Be Learning Society members only. Plus, you have the benefit from the 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. So on June 26, so save the date at 7:30 p.m. for Knowledge Mining Mental Model Masterclass and learn how to navigate through the platinum age of knowledge for growth and profit. So you will also discover how to productively mine for knowledge by mastering two powerful skills. So you will not be run out of knowledge because you will learn how to mine the knowledge. And as a bonus, so we have um, this mental model masterclass will feature research hacks that will truly benefit both the lifelong learners and the students of today. So just like me, I'm still a student, still learning inside the Learning Society. So TikTok broadcast is also powered by Rise Up Creatives worldwide, so your social commerce turnkey solution provider in the new digital landscape. So visit www.riseupcreatives to learn the benefits of the lifetime members like me, which includes the ability to create valuable and engaging social media content with original lifestyle photos in just 5 minutes. So rise up and be creative now. Ayan. So, ayan. So, we're back. And we call on, again, Jordan for our next travel photos. Yeah. So, we have the question before we break. So, what gives you peace?
That's a really good question, and had me thinking. And that's something that you often pause and think about, or I don't, anyways. Um, I'd say for me, what brings me peace is um, continual learning and gaining knowledge. So, for example, I find myself feeling overwhelmed or anxious whenever I'm out of sorts or unfamiliar. Um, with a topic, or with my own feelings, or with how someone else is receiving information, that makes me restless, and I don't find peace in that. That brings me anxiety. While when we're able to sort of pull the first layer off, peel back the onion, if you will,
Mm.
I find peace in exploring and going deeper in whatever that is, whether that's finding peace or resolution within myself and my own emotions, or having a conversation beyond just the day to day and the weather with you, and really philosophically diving deep, and getting to know you more. I find peace in that, and learning about other people, and learning about where they come from, and tapping into those sort of existential feelings and emotions and motivators. Um, Ironically, I find peace in that, in the knowledge and the learning. So, and I hadn't yet identified that until today. Until today, yeah, that's what brings me peace. It's going a layer deeper um, than what meets the eye or what scratches the surface.
Wow. Yeah.
If that made any sense at all, I hope so.
Yeah, what I saw in that is that the connection. So it again boils down with the connection that you build to yourself, and actually, because connection is part of being human. It's like it makes us more human to have to connect and feel that you said that that emotions, and um acknowledging your emotions, connecting with it with other people, connecting it with yourself and what you are currently doing right now, or where you are right now. And yeah, so that's why you have also that learning. You would like to learn, you want to discover more and more, because on that you discover more. You discover more of yourself, and you have that connection is what I saw in that. Thank you, Jordan, for sharing, and thank you for
Yeah.
being for peeling that one onion.
You nailed it. Connection. I think that's the simplest way of putting it. It doesn't always mean agreeing. It just means understanding. And I find peace in reaching resolution or understanding other people, or understanding my own self. You're right. Connecting the dots. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So let's have again the our fourth photo for our favorite
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. This is a nice spot. So this is on the East Coast, sort of north of Boston. If you're familiar, if you're looking at the map, it'd be in the northeast, and it's tucked away. It's right here again on the water, as you can obviously see. Um, I've been told you don't want to go here in the winter; that it can be pretty brutal. But we
Mm.
visited in August, and the food is phenomenal. I love seafood. I'm sure that you have no shortage of seafood, access to great fresh seafood where you are. Um, it was the first place I ever enjoyed oysters. Actually, I thought I didn't like oysters, and really, I just realized I don't like bad oysters or Texas oysters in the summer. So really enjoyed the food at this city, and being right on the water, and watching the boats come in and out of the bay is extremely still and peaceful. And this was something our friend is from here originally, and so we went back there with her for a wedding. That's where she wanted to get married, and it was just a spectacular place that we would not have otherwise probably ventured to. It's a pretty quiet town. It's a pretty small town. It's remote. It's kind of hard to get to. You fly into either Boston and drive a couple of hours along the coast, or you fly into a little regional airport and drive a little bit further. But yeah, it was a new place for us, and a new adventure, and it was somewhere that I hope to get back to, and somewhere that I could definitely see making a regular visit, maybe a summer, a new tradition. This place was really, really nice.
Wow. So just how you explain it, it makes me want to go there with the oyster. I'm curious how you cook the oyster. Oh, what did you put with the oyster
Just a
in there?
little, yeah, just open them up, on the half shell, and with a little lemon juice or a little
Mm,
something like this, not too much, not maybe a little of the, um, what do you call the mignonette or something like this, the little sauce, the garlic and lemon acidic sauce
mm.
they put with it, but otherwise not too much. These are so fresh and so nice that they don't need much.
Yeah, same with us, like lemon, a little bit garlic and salt, and that's it. Just as long as it's fresh.
Yeah.
Or with the locals here in Philippines, when it's just freshly cut, you just put vinegar
Yeah.
and salt. So
Okay.
with our local fishermen.
And you eat
Wow.
these all year round. There's no like off season. You can eat them all the time as long as you can catch them.
We we have some time that we call it red tide, that it's not advisable to eat, but yeah, mostly it's all year round is okay.
Okay. Sounds nice. Adding it to the list.
You have now a lot of in your list.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Reasons to visit Glacy.
So our last photo. Next photo, Master E. It's the last photo. I save it for you
Ah,
and for them.
okay. Yes. Yes. So obviously this is Gilly. And I don't even know if it's pronounced Gilly or Jilly now that you said it both ways. I could be very much mispronouncing that, so I'm sorry if it's Jilly. Is it Jilly, you think?
I pronounce it Gili. Gili. Yeah, Gili.
Julie? Okay. So I'll correct myself. um, yeah, so this is it. There's you can see the other sister neighboring island. I believe the one on the left picture would have been Lombok, that we would have been facing. So much more well known. I think it's, as my local friend put it, the the sister of Bali from 2 decades ago, basically. So what Bali used to look like or used to be like would be Lombok behind us, and then the other neighboring Gili Island would be over my husband's shoulder in this picture. And then to the north of the island was actually a volcano as well. So we would, as not morning people on vacation, the sunrise was still that beautiful that it got us out of bed every morning, well, most mornings, and we would walk to watch the sunrise and see the volcano. And then to the right, you can see we traveled everywhere by foot or on bicycle, and just stop in, have a beer, have a little snorkel. We pretty much brought our snorkeling masks over our shoulder everywhere we went on the island to just you could just walk in almost anywhere, and it was there on the right, which is really cool. You can see some of the kind of local huts and things, and just you see how there's maybe one other person in that entire view. Um, that's very accurate. It wasn't overpopulated. It wasn't overrun with anyone, locals or tourists. And it was really felt like you had your own island. It was quite a special place. In fact, my husband, who's not really a romantic guy, I don't think he would describe himself as a romantic. Um, we had a little local map that our property manager, when we first got there, gave us with little, circled and highlighted, and
Mm,
sunset and seafood
mm.
and Mexican place and spa, and highlighted with little notes all over it. And my husband found that and had it sort of framed and matted, and it's gave that to me as one of our a wedding gift or an anniversary gift because
Wow.
what a special place this was to us. And so we forever have a map in the bedroom, of all the little spots. So
Wow.
I
It's really
hope
special.
very special. And I think it was also a moment in time. Like, I can't imagine that there hasn't been more construction now, even in the last few years, since it's been probably 4 or 5 years since we've been there. And I'm sure that it's already evolved or changed a bit more, commercialized a little bit, just as it should. It's such an incredible place that
Mm.
more people should see it. But I also recognize, excuse me, that it was a short window of this sort of intimacy with the land, and feeling, really feeling the local vibe. And I don't take for granted that we were able to visit in that short window.
Wow. It's really a lot of local experience there. And when you mentioned barefooting, so just to share, it's really, it's therapeutic actually. The when you do barefooting, when you're touching the ground.
Mm,
So if you have more time, like to if you can have more like stepping to the sand as well, it's really help. It's very therapeutic.
grounding, right? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah,
Earthing or
yes.
grounding?
Also the earth grounding, because you will be connected again, connection and be connected with nature. So Jordan, earlier you shared na that Indonesia, say you're thinking or you're like envisioning to one day you will transfer or you will relocate in Asia, particularly like in Indonesia. So what is it? So we have a question here that what's with Asia that you wish to you have in your current space there in US?
Hmm. You know, I haven't visited anywhere in the US that's reminded me of Asia in any way. To be really honest with you, I think that's the appeal, is that it's so foreign in nature, and I don't mean, in just distance or locale. The culture is so foreign. We haven't. I don't think there's a lot of Asian culture in my day to day experience, as much as there are European influences. I'd say there's far less Asian influences in not just from a people perspective or anything like that. Just the rituals and the appreciation for history and things
Mm,
like this that I've experienced, and then honestly in Japan. So I think that's probably the appeal, is that it's so different. It's unlike anything we have here. It's unlike any experience that I've gained outside of just my
mm,
very, very few experiences or examples in Asia. I think that's why it would interest me, because it would be so un-American or so unlike anything we
yeah,
have locally, if that makes sense. That
yeah.
I think that's what the appeal or the
Mm.
desire would be from.
Again, like breaking the routine, or like we call it interrupting the program. So you are
Mm,
into that, like you feel that our life has been programmed, or we program our life
ah,
this way, but it's like interrupt the program from time to time.
I love.
So yeah. So Jordan, like with all these travel experiences you have, what do you think is your top three lessons that you learn in a travel, if you are to put it in your life
Mm.
journey?
Um, so one that comes to mind is that um, people are similar in nature, where it doesn't matter if you look like me, it doesn't matter if you talk like me, it doesn't matter if we can't even communicate on a basic
Mm,
level from a language perspective. Um, Traveling reminds me that there's still likeness in humanity, and no matter where you are, where you come from, what you were raised to believe, the innate human elements still exist. And when I am reminded of why things bring me joy or the special memories that have been made, it's typically around the people and less about the place itself, actually, which I think is really interesting.
Mm.
So that's one of the lessons. Um, and then that going back to the idea of feeling small in the best way, that life is not that serious. Life is not that, the details of my life and my day to day things are not that serious or that big of a deal when you get yourself out of that. Sort of like you just said, when you disrupt your program, you see that the program doesn't have to be so heavy and that everything doesn't have to be such a big deal. You can sort of just flow and take life as it comes. And I think I'm often reminded of that when things go wrong with travel or you end up somewhere you weren't planning to be, or you're delayed and you have to stay an extra day or something, a little bit of a crisis emerges. It puts things into perspective that it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. Um, and lastly, I'd say um, connecting with the people and the place around you is more important than anything in life. I think I'd venture to say that it fulfills me in ways that everyday life doesn't. It fulfills me in ways
Mm.
that everyday relationships don't. And pulling yourself, I really like that idea of disrupting the program. I'm going to keep repeating that. Um, Disrupting the program, and then when you reemerge back into the program and back into your day-to-day life, you're different. Even if it's just a
Yeah.
little nuance, even if it's just a little thing that you learned from someone else, even if it was just the way that you watch someone in their morning breakfast routine express their gratitude out loud, where you keep it to yourself
Mm.
this morning or something. Um, I think all of these little tweaks and little things we learn and pick up shift our everyday and shift our mentality just a little bit, maybe just 1 degree. I'm not saying you come back and you take a 360, but you've shifted maybe just one little element of how you think. And that can actually make a pretty big difference and attract other people to you in ways that they might not recognize and you might not recognize as well. I think you're magnetic in a different way when you have other
Mm.
people's viewpoints and cultures in mind.
Wow, that's perfect.
A lot of rambling, but
Those lessons, really big lessons, Jordan. What you have shared is it's really big. So that's why I have a next question for you.
please.
If it, yeah, if you are to look back, like if you are to look back, how far do you think you have already? How far you have come already towards the Jordan Loyd that you want to become?
Hmm. Hmm. Um, so that's an interesting question. I'd like to think that I still have a lot of room to grow, and that people are like a fine wine, and that you get better with age and experience. And I think that most of the time it's less about age and more about experience, but
Mm.
oftentimes those go hand in hand. Of course, just the more time you have, the more experiences you can garner. So um, I'd say I'm maybe 30 to 40% there, and I hope that I never get above 70 for my entire life. Even at 70 years old, I hope that I would answer you the same, in that I'm just scratching the surface and that there's always knowledge to be learned
Mm.
and perspectives to be gained and points of view to be learned. I don't think you ever get there, is my point. I think that life continues to remind you of that. And
Mm.
I think that probably with more time, you realize how little you know about the world, but it's okay. It's more comforting than it is when you're young, when you feel like you have your whole life ahead of you, as an example. Um, it can be overwhelming, but I think as an older, the more time you have, the more liberating that is to feel like you have so much to still learn and grow from. So I think I've barely scratched the surface. And I think that, in fact, these last couple of years and being more limited to travel maybe even set me back a little bit on the path that I was on. And I need to get back out there, and I need to continue learning and continue shaping those experiences. But yeah, I think I've just scratched the surface to answer your question.
So continuous learning and it's non-stop. So when you're sharing, Jordan, that you are like you want to feel small because you would like to see the world so that you would like to feel small in a positive way or in a good way. I think it's like I hear it like you more on to practice humility again. So grounding.
Mm,
So I'm not sure if that's um what you mean. And so thank you for really sharing your journey. And I would like to take off on that from all what you shared. So what in all your experiences, even that you said that you're like 30% for to towards the Jordan Loyd that you would like to become. So what what are you most grateful right now in your life?
mm. I love it. Just digging deep this morning. To be very honest with you, and this is not a canned answer, I mean this genuinely. I'm so grateful that I'm able to have the experiences and to just talk about travel like we are. I fully recognize my family. We never grew up traveling. We never grew up traveling.
Mm,
We just didn't have the means. We couldn't take off work. We couldn't not, get paid for the day. Um, I'm so grateful that life has brought me to this point where I am able to travel and I don't take the little things for granted, like time off and um, and having not just the financial means, but um, the health and the mental wellness and
mm,
um, you know uh, that I can get out of bed. And I do mean that more mental health than anything, that it doesn't exhaust me or overwhelm me to think about getting on an airplane, for example. So I'm honestly so grateful that I have the health and the resources to be able to travel, because it's life changing. And it's like you said at the top of the hour, it's what I get my greatest joy from, is
mm.
seeing new places and meeting new people and learning and developing those perspectives. And I don't take that for granted. And it hasn't always been this way. Just as an adult, have I been able to start traveling like this? And I hope that if we do have a family one day, I hope that our children are able to travel as well and to see the world outside of themselves. I think that's the greatest gift that you can have or that you can give to yourself or to others. So I'm absolutely eternally and most grateful for the ability to gain experiences and the privilege to feel safe traveling and the privilege to be able to leave my home and know that I can experience new places. I don't take that for granted.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Jordan. So always taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself, not only physical health, and you always said mental health. So mental health. So for our viewers out there, so mental health is as important as our physical health, and don't let anyone take that from you. So with my ending question, so we are in postcard. So if you saw a postcard, so you have the photo there right in front, and then you have the message at the back is a message. So if you are to put your life journey in a postcard like this, Jordan, so what will be the highlight of that journey?
Hmm. Uh, um, I'd say all the all of this conversation, essentially, the experiences, the new places, the new people. Um, I don't think it would be about my job. I don't think it would be about my home or my wealth, whatever that
Mm,
means. I don't think it would be any sort of financially um, driven or anything like that. I think it would be experience based, and I think it would be um, people. I think it would be just a running list of interesting people
mm,
that I may not ever come in contact with again. That may have been a one day, a one trip, a 10-minute conversation, an insight or perspective shared. That would be my journey. It would be a highlight reel, if you will, of people that I've met in places and the glimpses of themselves that they've shared with me. That would be my journey. It wouldn't be, yeah, it wouldn't be
yeah.
worldly, wouldn't be possessions.
Mm, it's not a worldly thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it would be about that. I think it would be about people and the connections
The
and
connection.
the special insights or perspectives that other people have given me and gifted me with. That would be the highlight reel.
Wow. So that would be a beautiful, colorful postcard full of the people that matters to you, or people that connects with you, or people that you met in along your journey that help you. And from time to time, of course, we learn most of the time, of course, we learn from them. So thank you again, Jordan. So thank you for this conversation early morning with you there back in Dallas, Texas, and from here in Philippines. So thank you for our viewers also for supporting postcards, and whether you are joining us live or watching on a replay. So please do leave a comment to share your insights. So Jordan have shared a lot of insights about live, and she's very open to us. So thank you again, Jordan, for that. So share us your insights, circulate the link of this video, and please don't keep us a secret. And if you are interested to embark on a journey of becoming a professional certified life coach like me, so Master Coach A offers co-actively co-create life coach certification program with CPD accreditation and 40 credit units. So life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains, so thereby increasing their relevance in an increasingly complex workplace and dynamic business environment. So CACC course includes a 21-day web-based learning with lifetime access and 2-day live face-to-face coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A and a 3-day live virtual business bootcamp with senior coaching team. So the program package also comes with done for you coaching programs and many other bonuses. To connect now with Coach Giselle 20917 5861661 to discover the opportunities waiting for you in the second fastest growing industry in the world today. So right now we have ongoing face-to-face life coach certifications. So started last um, Saturday, and it will be have our second day on June 25. This is a face-to-face class at the function hall at the Coffee Republic. And I would like to invite you also to watch the other shows hosted here at TikTok Broadcast. So please follow, subscribe, and engage in our social media accounts at TikTok underscore TV on Twitter and Instagram, and Think TikTok broadcast on YouTube, and give us your review. So for partnership and collaboration, so please connect with Coach Giselle at 0917 5861661. So there. So thank you again for joining us for tonight, and with our guest Jordan. So we have a lot of takeaways, or we have a lot of insights for tonight, like especially when you travel, that for her, travel is really giving her that perspective of seeing the world, so that she will be again grounded. She will be to find that again, that humility, or thrive more to, like as she shared, it's like scratching the surface, to become who you want to become, learning from people as you connect with them, and that's what gives you, that what give you the, that's what give experience richer. And that's what actually, as she shared, no, that's what more important is, building that, having that relationship with people more than anything else in the world. And that's where she also finds peace. So where you are right now, so I hope you find your own peace. So we are different from one another, but we also have likeness. So as what Jordan have shared with us, as you meet people, you will find like, maybe you're a Russian, you're American, you're a French, Filipino. We are different in culture, but we have one likeness, and that one likeness is actually, we would like to connect, and we would like to really share what we have, and so build that, relationship, and makes our existence in this world very, very rich. So thank you again, and see you in our next episode of Postcards on June 27th, so 2022, air season 1, and there's a live here at Team Talk broadcast. So this is us in the Philippines, broadcasting beyond borders and advancing life coaching worldwide. So love, bam, boom, love, bam, boom, love, bam, boom. Coaches like us think and talk like this. Bye.